Disney has been remaking its animated classics into live-action movies for a while now. We've already got to see Beauty and the Beast, Cinderella, The Jungle Book, and more come to life. But Disney has more animated classics coming your way, and we've got your full list of what's next for Disney live-action movies. As we dive into our top 20 movies, remember, some of these titles aren't even in production yet, but have been announced as future projects, many years away. But we've got some coming sooner than you know. Alright, ready to get started? Number 20, Night on Bald Mountain. You probably don't even know who this guy is, but he was the epic villain from the final moments in Disney's 1940 classic, Fantasia, and probably the last character you'd ever imagine getting his own movie. But it was recently greenlit. Who knows what they'll do with this one? If they could pull off a Maleficent story, I'm sure they'll be able to do this with Bald Mountain. Number 19, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Now I know what you're thinking, not another Snow White movie. We've already got Snow White and the Huntsman, but that's not stopping Disney from remaking its timeless classic. The songwriters from La La Land have joined the movie to write some new songs, but they can't forget about that famous dwarf song. This movie will likely be very close to the classic animated film, but with better songs and hopefully not an annoying high-pitched voice for Snow. No release date has been set for this movie. Number 18, The Jungle Book 2. Of course, after the massive success of the original Jungle Book with its realistic animals, we were bound to get a sequel, and I can't wait to see what they bring to the table this time around with Mowgli and the rest of the gang. The director from the first Jungle Book, Jon Favreau, is attached, and it will likely feature the same actor who played Mowgli facing life growing up. Disney has plenty of material to pull from original author Rudyard Kipling. The sequel is a few years away, as the director is currently working on another Disney remake, which we'll get into very soon. Here's a hint: Hakuna Matata. Number 17, Maleficent 2. Another hit for Disney means another sequel, and we'll be getting more Angelina Jolie as Maleficent.
Well.
The original writers of the hit are attached. Hopefully this time around we'll see more villainous magic. No release date has been announced.
Oh dear. What an awkward situation.
Number 16, Chip and Dale. Now I love me some Rescue Rangers, but that was a long time ago since I've watched them on TV. But the Chipmunks can be seen today in a cartoon called Nutty Tales on Disney Channel. It would be great to see Chip and Dale on the big screen, but with all the success that Alvin and the Chipmunks had, audiences might not want another Chipmunk movie. Will Chip and Dale be able to climb back to the top? No release date is set for this movie. Hopefully it gets made. Number 15, Genies. Now this is more of a backstory focusing on the genie from Aladdin, which will give fans the story of how the genie got trapped inside the lamp. This would have been an amazing movie if Robin Williams was still around, and rumors have it Disney initially wanted to use the reels of outtakes from Williams, but his estate prevented them from using any works for 25 years. Who knows where this one's gonna go, but I already know what wish I'd make: bring back Robin Williams. This movie really depends on the success of the live-action Aladdin movie also in the works, but we'll get to that shortly. Number 14, Prince Charming. We finally get a Disney Prince movie. After so many princesses taking the spotlight, it's time to learn about that handsome guy, Charming, and what his story is all about.
I forbid you to take another step down these stairs! Okay.
Will the prince be able to start a new path for Disney royalty? With no date announced, we'll just have to wait. Number 13, Rose Red. Now we already mentioned that Disney was remaking Snow White, but this is a whole other Snow White movie about Rose Red, the long-forgotten sister of Snow, who with the help of dwarves tries to figure out how to break the curse from that poison apple. I'm not really sure how different this is from Snow White other than Snow is asleep. Not much information has been announced, so we'll have to wait and see if Rose Red can outdo her famous sister at the box office. Number 12, Christopher Robin. One movie that would look amazing in live action is Winnie the Pooh, but Disney is putting a little twist on it. In this live action remake, we get to see an adult version of Christopher Robin take the spotlight, which should bring plenty of nostalgia to all those classic Pooh stories. Growing up doesn't mean you should leave your childhood memories behind. Christopher Robin is played by Ewan McGregor, and Jim Cummings, who has voiced the animated Pooh for years, will be bringing the cuddly bear to life like never before. The movie is set to land in theaters on August 3rd, 2018. Number 11, Dumbo. The famous circus elephant who can fly is getting ready to soar into theaters once again, and we've got your first look at a design of Dumbo unveiled at the D23 Expo. Directed by the dark and twisted Tim Burton, Dumbo is a story about a baby elephant with oversized ears who becomes the laughingstock of an already struggling circus. But it's the ringleader's children who discover Dumbo can fly, which turn him into a star. I can't wait to see what they do with this movie when it flies into theaters on March 29th, 2019. Number 10, Pinocchio. Creative visionary Guillermo del Toro is taking on Pinocchio, which will capture the story of a puppet who dreams of being a real boy. Pinocchio is a pretty dark Disney film, with its scary carnival of bad kids drinking and smoking, who then turn into donkeys. And of course you can't forget about that horrifying ocean scene where Pinocchio and his father are swallowed by a monstrous whale. I fully believe in the filmmaker's vision to bring this movie to life, as Del Toro is famous for his visual creativity. The film is still in the early stages of development, and no release date is set. Number 9, The Sword in the Stone. One of the most magical Disney animated movies will come to life like never before. Disney is hiring the Game of Thrones writer and producer to take on the project. I can't wait to see wizards, squirrels, dragons, and of course,
the magnificent, marvelous Mad Madam Mim,
who I think Melissa McCarthy would capture perfectly. Sadly, no release date has been set, so you're gonna have to wait. Number 8, Tinkerbell. She sells so many products and people love Tink. We've seen countless animated movies starring her, which are actually pretty good, but now it's time for her to take on the live-action world. Reese Witherspoon is set to play Tink. Could this be her origin story on how she came across Peter Pan? We will hopefully find out whenever Disney announces a release date. Number 7, Peter Pan. Now this is another one that has seen far too many live-action remakes over the years, Hook being my favorite, but this version is said to be a straight adaptation of the original story. Sadly, we can't set our clocks cause no release date has been set for this magical adventure. Number 6, Aladdin. Director Guy Ritchie is bringing the animated classic to life as the film is already in production. With the cast announced and Will Smith taking on the genie, it's going to be a whole new world. I can't wait to see Jafar turn into a giant cobra and Aladdin in the Cave of Wonders. Disney has their hands full with this epic adventure. If you've been waiting for an Aladdin movie, your wish will come true on May 24th, 2019. Number 5, Cruella. Disney had great success with their first 101 Dalmatian live-action films, but this time we are focusing on the life of Cruella and her younger days in the fashion world, with Emma Stone reportedly cast as young Cruella. It could be very interesting to see how Cruella was before her madness took over wanting puppy coats. No release date has been set for this origin story. Number 4, Mary Poppins Returns. Okay, it's not entirely an animated movie, but did feature some really great animated scenes. And Mary Poppins Returns is not a remake of the original film, it's a sequel which continues the story of the original, with Jane and Michael Banks, all grown up, who receive a visit from Mary Poppins after a personal loss. Rob Marshall, who directed Chicago and Into the Woods, is taking on this timeless classic, with Emily Blunt as Mary Poppins and Lin-Manuel Miranda as Jack. A special cameo with Dick Van Dyke will sure to spark up your nostalgia meter. Here's a little Easter egg you might not have realized as a kid. Dick Van Dyke played multiple characters in the original movie. Mary returns to theaters on Christmas Day 2018. Number 3, Mulan. One of the most brave Disney princesses will be reimagined for the big screen. An Asian cast has been announced and filming is about to begin, but we have no idea who will be voicing the hilarious sidekick Mushu. After hearing that it's not going to have any songs in it, the internet went crazy demanding there be songs, making the filmmakers think twice. Disney better get down to business and add some songs. How else are we going to defeat the Huns? Get ready for war as Mulan heads to theaters on November 2nd, 2018. Number 2, The Little Mermaid. Disney will finally take audiences under the sea in this live-action remake about Ariel, a mermaid who dreams of walking the shores and living among man. Rob Marshall is rumored to be taking on the project as he finishes up Mary Poppins Returns. Will Disney be able to recreate the believable underwater world with mermaids? I think so. If you take a look at this Pirates of the Caribbean scene, the CGI hair underwater looks amazing. Meanwhile, Harvey Fierstein has tipped his hat to play the famous role of Ursula. Now you may be confused why a man would want to play a female character.
Look at me.
Actually, it is widely known that the Sea Witch's inspiration was from one of the big screen's greatest drag queens, Divine. This movie is many years away, so we don't know who will end up being Ariel or Ursula in this epic remake. With Rob Marshall being attached, who is amazing at making movie musicals, you could bet your bottom sand dollar that The Little Mermaid will have all its songs, and maybe even some new ones. Let's just hope they don't overdo it like they did in Beauty and the Beast. With no release date set, we'll have to wait to be a part of Ariel's world. Alright, we finally made it to number 1, and this is probably the one we're all most excited for, The Lion King. It's pretty much everyone's favorite Disney movie. The Lion King needs to be an epic hit, as fans are eagerly waiting and nervous about how it all comes together on the big screen. The director of The Jungle Book is taking on the movie, and casting has already been announced, with returning voice James Earl Jones as Mufasa and new voices like Beyoncé as Nala. If it's anything as visually stunning as The Jungle Book, then Hakuna Matata. Don't worry, it's gonna be great. The Lion King roars into theaters on July 19th, 2019. We made it through the entire list of announced Disney live-action remakes. Which one are you most excited for? Or which movie would you want to see that has not been announced? Leave your comments down below. Now remember, release dates can change, and sadly some movies could get cancelled. We're gonna keep you updated on everything Disney in our upcoming videos, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. To go deeper into The Lion King and Aladdin, watch these videos here. Thanks for tuning in, don't forget to like and share.